In this week's episode, we start work on the biggest challenge our little stone house renovation has in store, designing a tiny kitchen that will be both functional and beautiful.
It's going to be really tough, actually.
This stone house will be our temporary home, probably for the next 3 years, as we work towards the dream of building a big stone family home here. We're still waiting on our permissions to build, and have a few of your concerns on that subject to address.
And so to anybody who's wondering,
we never, ever, ever think that our suffering is greater than somebody else's. So let's dive in and catch you up on life from the mountains of northern Portugal. Oh, that's a nice view, isn't it? Good morning, folks.
Good morning.
You're joining us for our morning coffee.
Yeah, look
We're
at that view.
practicing our view, aren't
Yeah,
we?
just amazing. An amazing view. What a beautiful place. We've had guests staying with us for the last 6 weeks, and so, well, work on this place has been kind of trickling along, but nothing massive has been able to take place because people have actually been staying here. They've been enjoying this view.
They have, and it's been so nice to have this space, because usually when we've had people to stay, we've all kind of lumped into one house, and it's all been like there's only been one space for people to relax. But we've just had John's younger sister here with her kids. It was 5 of them, and they just took over this whole house, and they had such a lovely time, didn't they?
Yeah, and before that, my other sister with her 2 daughters.
Yeah, was here, and then before that, a friend of ours from the UK. So it's just been back to back.
Oh, just very quickly, Jamie, my one of my nephews, really wanted to be on the show. So here's a picture of Jamie. There we go, Jamie.
Oh dear, he promised us that it would make the video go viral.
Yeah,
So
yeah, he did. So share, everybody, because sharing is caring.
oh dear. Anyway, we're really looking forward to getting stuck back into some kind of hard graft and getting the kind of things on the move. As we spoke about in our last episode, we still haven't had approval for the big build, and we haven't had a response to a video like that in a really long time. 1,600 of you left us a comment, and the huge majority of those were incredibly supportive and full of love, but there were a few that we really need to address. So later on in the episode, I think we're going to talk to you a bit about kind of ironing out a few misconceptions, just reassuring everybody, and just kind of setting the record straight. Plan for the day is to get back into this house. We've got to sand some windows, we've got to put some skirtings in, you've got to build some doors for a cupboard, and at the very end, before we call it a day, I would like to get down into that kitchen and start having a chat about what we're going to do there, because that's the next thing we start on next week, is building the kitchen.
Yeah, it's true. Well, yeah, I suppose it is true. It's that or a bed.
Kitchen.
All right.
We'll see who wins that argument.
Let's start here.
Anyway, first, coffee.
Yeah, let's finish that. All right, so we've got this window to do right now. I think we're going to do it together, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So if you want to go get the sander, I'll take the glass out.
Okay.
And then we need to get a hairdryer, I think, on that sticky tape.
Okay.
To get the sticky tape off.
All right, cool.
So what we want is that
little mouse one.
mouse
Is it in the
sander.
knockdown, which is downstairs?
I think it's downstairs.
Great.
Let me. I need the drill. Okay, let's just take that out. When I first built this window, the idea was to make it as simple as possible. This piece of glass I purchased from the local glass merchant in our local town. It's a double glazed piece of glass. There's no argon or anything fancy in it. It's just double glazed, 2 pieces of glass stuck together. And it cost about 70 euros, which is pretty good for a window. It does mean that the window's never going to be able to open, but I'm not too worried about that at all. It's going to be fine. So we need to sand, and then we need to put the window in place. We need to seal it up, and then I want to also put a bit of eventually a piece of metal here, a little bit of a sill, to stop water from going back into the window. Where's Tara got to? Get that out of the way for now. All right. Need to find a colour to paint this window as well. Are we going to go with just white, or what would look good? Hairdryer, sander. All right. Do you want a sander, or do you want to get those off?
Leaving a residue.
Well, you got to heat it.
I am. I made it so hot I can't actually touch it, so it is getting enough heat, but it's just leaving that glue behind.
Okay.
I think some dishwasher and water and sponge will be fine.
Okay.
Sometimes life goes easy, sometimes life goes do-do-do-do. Sometimes minds go crazy, sometimes minds go do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Piggy, piggyback, won't you take me? Piggyback, won't you? Piggyback, won't you take me? Piggyback, won't you? Piggyback, won't you take me? Piggyback, won't you? Piggyback, won't you take me? Piggyback, 'cause all I want is you. All I want is you. And how I hope it's true. How I hope it's true. When I'll be feeling blue. Won't you piggyback, won't you piggy me back, won't you?
Ta-da! Clean window. All done. I just filmed about 5 minutes of that, but forgot to press record. So I finished, but you didn't get to see it. What are you up to in here, my darling?
I am just finishing off this filling.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I hadn't filled everything totally when I filled it last time. So I'm going to have to wait just a little bit to get this painted.
Okay.
And sand it properly. But I got to go to the local shop and just pick up a few bits and pieces.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No worries. Oh, well, I'm taking a quick, very sweaty, hot break. I did actually spend a little bit of time out there talking about our last episode where we shared our frustrations with or rather I shared our frustrations with the fact that we still hadn't had our planning permission. We had a few comments that kind of stung a little bit, and I just wanted to reassure everybody that we fully appreciate how fortunate we are to live the life we do, how trivial our frustrations may seem in comparison to those suffering deeply around the globe. We never, ever, ever think that our suffering is greater than somebody else's. But we do want to share on this channel very openly and very authentically the ups and downs of the life that we live here. We can't pretend that everything is always rosy and happy and that we never get frustrated or kind of annoyed by something that's going on. So that was the spirit in which that frustration was shared. It was in no way intended to be like, woe is us, poor things, how can we possibly manage?
Although, to be honest, I mean, woe is us. I for one, am just like...
Just don't listen to him. Anyway, yeah. It was not the manner in which that moan was intended, and we're acutely aware of the suffering that goes on around our planet, and are trying to kind of do what we can to help balance those books a little bit. More on that in the next kind of few weeks and months, I suppose. Anyway, thank you to the 1,600 of you and the 50 people who emailed with messages of love, support, ideas of kind of helping us along. All of it meant the world. You're all incredible. We love you deeply, and without you, we couldn't do it. So I think that's enough on that subject.
And Joao's going to love you all a little bit more next week.
Oh
too.
yeah, we have a surprise for Joao that we're planning. More about that next week, but we're so excited, and you guys are a big part of us being able to make that happen. So thank you in advance. More on that, as I say, next week. But it's felt really good to be able to to do that for him. And also, it's my birthday tomorrow. Well, yesterday for you guys, because you're watching on Sundays. My birthday on Saturday. So John's off this afternoon to plan an epic surprise for me. Aren't you, love?
Yeah.
I'll let you know what it is.
I was thinking of vacuum cleaner.
My dad once bought my mum a vacuum cleaner for Christmas. We have an old family video of it. And she opens the present and you can see her looking at the box and she goes, is what's on the box what's in the box?
Really?
This is a home video from like 1994 and I watched it the other day with my parents. I was like, oh, Dad, you were in big trouble that year. Oh, dear. I know, that would be hilarious. Anyway, let me go and put some sun cream on the boys who are with Joao on the trampoline, I think. And grab a cold drink of water because it is hotting up. I'm going to have to try and keep this quick because I've basically got the competition of the cockerel and the dog with the kids on the trampoline to kind of be heard. But if you're a parent or a grandparent, then this is one of the most genuine recommendations I will make to you guys. And I really, really hope that you'll take us up on the offer that we've got for you from today's sponsor, KiwiCo, because we have been so very impressed. KiwiCo create learning crates packed, filled with innovative activities, things for kids to learn about, things for kids to do, but also things that promote good motor skills, practice their colours, their shapes, all of the stuff that they kind of should be learning at this sort of age, and makes it really, really fun. So we got our first crates the other day, one for Crusoe and one for Sawyer, and the boys were absolutely delighted. Crusoe literally, when we go to bed at night, he looks up at me and he goes, KiwiCo, mama. So Crusoe's box was all themed about learning about wind. So we made a windsock, we've got a little weather chart which is now on our fridge, and he built a car out of cardboard that he had to flap a fan at to make it drive, and he was just so delighted. It was such a joy to see him get such a buzz from learning. And what I loved about Sawyer's crate was that it wasn't just a one-hit wonder. It's a bunch of puzzles that he will use for months to come. Things that he can practice his motor skills with and start learning about shapes and colours. I'm just so excited about it. I hope you can tell. We've got an offer for you guys, like I said, which I hope you'll take me up on. So if you use our unique link and offer, you will get 50% off your first month on all of their monthly lines and 20% off their panda crates, which are for kids younger than 36 months, so kind of Sawyer's age group. So if my endorsement is not enough to convince you, then how about the fact that we are using our very own offer link and code to purchase a subscription for both of our boys on KiwiCo crates for the rest of the year. We love them that much. So the big one or a small one? Small one, eh?
Let's pick more, Mum.
Okay, let's pick them all then.
Let's pick more, Mum.
Okay.
For next year, more comes.
Okay, can you find me a big one?
That's a massive one.
Oh, that's a massive one, eh? That's like one good onion. It's not a good year this year, Crusoe.
No.
From the top of the farm, the vegetable garden, you could say this is the heart of the home. You could say that this is where the beating kind of engine room of the farm is, because it's where we should be getting all of our food. But to be honest, this year has been appalling. And I would love to hear from anyone in the comments if you are having a similar experience in your part of the world, perhaps even in Portugal or Europe. Because Joao and I were just having a conversation about how things have grown this year, and our weather has been all over the place. We've had hot days, we've had cold days straight after, and then a hot day again. We've had dry spells, but actually a lot more rain than we normally would have. And it's just been such a weird year weather-wise, which is something that's happening all over the world as we go through this period of climate change and all the rest of it. But the kind of results are quite incredible to see. This time last year, we were in a mecca of kind of incredible produce. I think I must have been picking at least 9 cucumbers a day and at least 6 patty pans, and we were swimming through tomatoes and we were having an absolute ball. I had enough onions to last me a year. We were pulling up huge potatoes and enormous sweet potatoes. This year is a completely different story. And the really interesting thing about all of it is that Joao and his family are having a similar problem on their farm next door. They also have got no onions, no tomatoes yet, very few cucumbers. The melons that we planted have done absolutely nothing. We don't even have a single sweet melon kind of forming. The only thing that's giving us any joy are courgettes, and I have enough of those to last me, well, if they were to store the rest of eternity. But it's really been a very, very bad year. Even the peppers aren't doing anything. We've got a few watermelons peeping through the grass up here. So we'll see how those do for the rest of the season. But I'm almost at the point of giving up on everything else. Anyway, all is not completely lost. This morning we're up here because we're going to lift the onions and see what we've got, put them out to dry somewhere. And we're also going to lift up the potatoes and see whether or not we got anything worth talking about in the potato side of things. So there is work to be done. There is food to be had. It's just such a difference and such a huge contrast to the incredible success that last year was. And, you know, I've kind of been feeling a bit guilty about it because I haven't been up here as much as last year. And I thought that might be the case, but honestly, because everybody around us is having a similar problem, it's just the climate, isn't it? It's just that everything is changing. So like I say, if you've had a similar experience in your part of the world, please let us know. I'd be fascinated to hear. Well, that one's definitely for the pot, Joao. Look at that. That literally did nothing. Well done, buddy. Hey? Gosh, you're doing such a good job.
Yeah, there's lots of ones.
Okay, cool. Let's get the rest, shall we? So when Joao and I planted these onions, we planted 650 tiny little onions. And I must admit to being quite nervous about how I was going to tie them. Because when Armando taught me how to tie onions, it's probably a couple of years ago now, or maybe it was last year. I think it was last year. Anyway, I remember just doing one kind of string of onions and being like, oh my gosh, my hands are aching. Now Armando on a normal year will literally do enough onions to last their entire family the whole year, and they line their entire garage with strings of onions. He must have the strongest hands on the planet because it is such hard work. Anyway, turns out I was worrying about nothing, because I think if we get 2 strings of onions here, I'll be jolly lucky. Hey, you're good at finding the really big ones. Me and Joao are just pulling up the little ones. Are you digging up the onions, Sawyer?
Yeah.
Look, here's a nice big one. That's good news. Thanks, Obi.
Bigger one.
There you go. Can you go put it on the pile? Thanks, my boy. All right, buddy. Why don't you go put it in the greenhouse?
So I'm going to carry those all, Mom.
Are we going to have to put them in your... Where's your wheelbarrow? Do you want to get your wheelbarrow?
Or I can put it in my bucket. 1, oh, out. 2, 3, 4, 5,
Joao, your lessons need to be better.
Not me, of course.
Oh dear, love it. Well done, boys.
I'm going to carry those all.
Oh, you're going to have to go for a long walk and come back. Anyway, I was going to say this is my favourite part of it all, is having the boys up here involved in it and kind of understanding where their food comes from and getting excited about what we get out the veggie garden and being a part of the process. Even if we're not getting a lot, the value that that brings our family and these 2 little people is immeasurable. So even if we only got 2 onions, 1 for each of them to pick, it would be enough for me to know that they had that experience and they had that knowledge. On his quest for a second budser, Joao's just messaged to say there's a snake on the grass. Come on, boys, let's go see the snake. Quick, quick, quick. Come on. So you leave the other here.
I can hear it snaking.
You can hear it snaking, hey? No ways. Okay, quick, quick, quick. Come this way. Come to Daddy. A few weeks ago, I mentioned that we'd seen the snake when I was showing you guys the new rock that we've purchased down on the land beyond the farm's current borders. Anyway, we're pretty sure it was a Montpellier snake, which is the biggest snake in Portugal. It's about 2 meters long. It's massive. Maybe let's put Obi in the house quickly. Oh, gosh, yeah, there it is. There, Chris, I did look, a big snake. Wow.
Yeah, it's a smaller one than the last one.
It's a smaller one, yeah.
Please hold it, Mum.
No, baby. No, I don't want you to hold it, buddy.
You hold it.
I don't want to hold it.
Big gnarly snake, eh?
That is a big gnarly
Can you
snake.
see it, Sawyer?
Let's get a stick.
What are you going to do with a stick?
and then put him somewhere else because maybe put him somewhere else because fox is gonna eat him.
Oh, is it?
Yes, get him somewhere else.
Okay. So for anybody panicking about how close we are to the snake, please don't fret. There are no poisonous snakes in Portugal. So we're quite confident, not this part of Portugal anyway, we're quite confident that we can be this close without being in any danger. Poor Obi is on the balcony.
Crusoe's delighted and Sawyer's more excited about the fact that he can see the moon.
Mum, please touch that snake.
I think it's better you don't touch it, my love.
No, I'm going to be really brave.
I know you're really brave. I'm so proud of you.
Mum, let's touch it together.
I don't want to touch it.
No, I want to touch it.
You need your Uncle Scott here, hey?
I'm just thinking about me and my gardening, coming down here and doing some weeding.
Yeah, I know.
He's putting a hand in there. I'm pulling out a snake.
I know, I was also just thinking, how many times are we walking around? We have no idea what's watching us from underneath things, eh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Tara! Are you there? Okay, come look at this. Just having a quick look at the kitchen. I'm going to take down those cabinets while I wait for the window frames to dry. Yeah. So look at this. Some of the stuff that's in the cabinets up there, I dropped a glass, by the way. It just dropped out. But some of this stuff is from the original. You know, it hasn't been moved for 25 years, has it? Like,
well, it came out, got clean and got back in again.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just really that, isn't it?
Yeah, cool though, isn't it? Those blue glasses, I think, are actually quite special. I'm going to be a bit of a wine snob now, but personally, don't love drinking out of a little. Do you know what I mean? I like a big glass with thin glass. God, I sound like such a wine snob. Anyway, these are, they're really pretty little glasses.
Are they port glasses, do you think?
Probably port glasses, aren't they? Well, no, because there's a smaller size and a bigger size. So it's like white wine, red wine.
Okay.
Maybe it's a Vino Verde glass, I don't know.
Maybe. All right, so what's the plan in here? I'm going to
They are really special though, so we should look after them.
So let's get a box and put the stuff in the box, take the cabinets off the wall, and then we can have a look at where those tiles get to.
Okay, cool.
And then make a plan, because I think we're going to keep the original tiles.
Yes.
I do like these tiles. I like them a lot, not just because I think they look pretty, but because they've got a home here, and they are part of the fabric of this building, having been here probably since this room was built. Over here, we've got this sort of chimney space going on, so I guess logically we're going to put a stove or a cooker here at this end, which means at the other end we can do all sorts of stuff. I'm not sure yet.
So we got stove, cooker here, stove and oven, right?
Yep.
Sink, because this is where the plumbing is.
Yeah.
Dishwasher.
Yeah.
Cabinets.
Let's take those cabinet doors off as well, hey? We could end up so difficult. Comments. I think for me, comments are probably one of the hardest parts of our job. They are tough, and that's probably why a lot of YouTubers out there just don't go really anywhere near comments. And you can leave a comment on a lot of YouTube channels and not get a reply or even an acknowledgement of that comment. For some people, I think not reading those kind of comments can be almost just a way of self-preservation, being able to do a job. Yeah, definitely. It's such a funny old gig, you can get a million lovely comments, literally a million, and we're so fortunate because we do. But it's just that one comment that will really throw you off a little bit. It shouldn't. You shouldn't focus on it, but you do. It's a weird old game. Joel's here. That's good news. I think we're going to have to lift and then pull it off. That's it. Check that out. The tiles go all the way up the wall. Wow, what a wall. Okay, let's take it outside. Thanks, Joel. How have the boys been this morning? Very good.
Yeah. Look at spiders. Look. This.
Can you see spiders? Hey? Alright, let's pop that down there.
Wowzers, love.
Yeah,
That makes a difference, doesn't it?
it does, yeah. It's a big, big wall that is.
I'm so excited.
So we need, in here I say we need a couple of things. We need a lot more light.
And better, just smarter lighting, isn't it?
And then we need to start thinking about how things go together. Where's my pencil? I've got it behind my ear. Right, so we prerequisites basically. We want the cooker to go in the middle. A central point for the sink. And that cabinet here. 83. Okay, I've just checked. So are we having the sink like the sink in the other house with the columns either side?
Yeah, nice.
Okay, that needs to be 87 wide.
87 is the sink.
Okay. Which is going to take a little bit away from this middle cabinet here, between the cooker and the... Okay, let me measure that again. 87 divided by 2 is 43 and a half. That means we're 108. What about if we build a tall cabinet here?
Oh, okay.
And have the cooker, the oven opening here?
Okay, yeah, cool, why not?
Is that good? Because then that takes it away. So that cabinet's going to need to be 60 centimetres plus 9, so 70 centimetres, just for now anyway. Let's give ourselves plenty of room. 70 centimetres, yeah.
Covered up here, right, for things that you never need to reach.
Yeah, absolutely. So there we go. And then the question is, are we going to put more cupboards across the top like there was before, or is it just going to be a big long shelf?
I was looking at it just now and going, oh, would shelves be a bit easier? Not, if we look at our current kitchen, we've got the shelf with all the jars, which we need to put here somehow.
Mm-hmm. I think 2 shelves coming off of that tall cabinet.
Like this?
Yeah, but not all the way, just to above the, just to maybe above the sink.
Okay.
Okay, so then just if you put a double line there so I can see them, like I'm pretty visual, I want to see it. And then just put a couple of brackets underneath it as well, so we can see the brackets. What's that? Are you drawing it 3D?
What we'll do is get John to draw this afterwards and it will look completely different.
Yeah. Alright, so oven cabinet here.
Yeah.
Oven. Stuff we're never going to get up here, or stuff the boys shouldn't be touching up here.
Exactly.
Cabinet below.
Yeah.
What's going to be in that? Food cabinet?
No. Oh, jeez, we haven't even got a pantry, have we? Oof, this is going to be so tight.
Can we make it L shape?
Yeah, I think an L shape is not a bad shelf to the kitchen, to the fridge.
That's the whole wall though, that's such a lovely wall.
Yeah.
It's the best wall in the house and we're going to put a kitchen cabinet across
Yeah.
the top of it.
That's not nice to do. And how do you feel about cutting shelves onto those rocks? Obviously they're going to be a bit wonky at the back and need a lot of work, but can we put shelves on the rocks?
Yeah. It's going to be really tough, folks, eh? I know what's going to happen here, folks. I know what's going to happen.
What?
We're just going to have to start building it and see where we get to. Fingers crossed it works.
Well, Let's get started then, shall we?
Shall we do it? All right.
Okay, so we love shelves. We love the kind of exposed pantry look, if you will, with the glass jars and stuff like we have in our current house, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've got the brackets, we've got the shelf. We could just move that shelf over. We should measure it. And then we can make some really cute, funky shelves that go on the rock. I would love that, because I think the more creative we are, the better.
Yeah.
So like we've got the big fridge here, and then in this, you know, like here, maybe there's a shelf that comes off this rock. That's got a few bits and pieces on, and there's a shelf that comes up here that's got a few jars on or something, you know, like...
No, because we got oven there, darling.
Okay, well you know what I mean. It doesn't have to be that rock, I'm just saying like, maybe there's a shelf here, about that big,
Yeah.
and there's a shelf there, that's like that big, and you'll have to cut the wood to go around the rock, so it'll be really interesting and have really cool shapes and contours.
Okay.
And there's some jars and things up there, and whatever, spices or whatever it is.
Mm.
Then we have, you know, a couple of shelves up top there where stuff can go. We've got a pantry, so we're okay.
Mm.
And then maybe above the cooker on these tiles, or underneath here, or along that wall, we make one of those pot hanging things, where you hang the pots and pans so that you don't need a cupboard for them.
Oh, I like the idea of hanging pots and pans.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That would be great.
Cool. See you on Wednesday, folks. Where's your digger, buddy? Under all the potatoes. Hey, you better help you out. Put the potatoes in the bag so you can get to your digger. I see something.